There's something powerful about seeing a cloaked figure in shadows, stepping into the chaos of the night, not to destroy it or to do more damage, but to heal it, to bring some sense of order, trying to tip the balance back toward the light. Batman isn't just a character to me. He's a mentor, a symbol, and in a lot of ways, he's been a father figure. For decades, he's taught me lessons about empathy, perseverance, and the duality that many people carry within them. This is a story about Batman and me, and why he means so much to me. I think my first real introduction to the character was through Batman the Animated Series. I was just a kid back then, but even as a kid, I could tell this show wasn't like anything else on TV. One of the biggest differences being it didn't talk down to me. It wasn't just silly characters with bright colors and happy endings. And yeah, there was some of that, but it had weight, it had depth. It made me feel things I couldn't quite put into words. I didn't realize it back then, but Batman's world wasn't just about fighting bad guys. It was about attempting to fix broken things. His villains weren't just heartless monsters. They were people with flaws, people who had suffered, people who needed help. And Batman, he wanted to help them.
No, turn them off. You can play those roles again, Hagen. Let me help you find a cure. No!
He didn't just beat them up and lock them away. He wanted to do right by them, understanding them and reaching out, doing his best to actually connect with them so he could help them. That's the kind of heroism that stuck with me, even when I didn't fully understand it. Episodes like Heart of Ice with Mr. Freeze and all of his struggles, or Harley Quinn's attempts to turn her life around throughout the series. This show didn't just entertain me, it taught me that every person has a story, a reason behind their actions, and that no one is beyond redemption. I think that idea shaped the way I look at people. I'm constantly trying to understand everyone around me. One of the things that resonated with me the most, even though I couldn't fully understand it as a kid, is the duality of Batman. Bruce Wayne and Batman are two sides of the same coin, but they serve different purposes. Bruce Wayne is the face, the mask Batman wears to navigate Gotham's elite and keep up appearances. Batman is really the core of who he is, the person he becomes when it's time to do what he views as the real work. But neither side is fake. They're both him, just in different ways. And I see so much of myself in that. Growing up as a mixed race kid, I always felt like I had to kind of code switch depending on who I was around. With one side of my family, I would act a certain way, and with the other side, I would act very differently. And it's never that either side is fake, they're both me. It's just different aspects of who I am. And I've always found a comfort in Batman because he showed me that it's possible to be more than one thing, to adapt without losing yourself. The Arkham games gave me a chance to become the Knight, you know what I mean? Those games really allowed me to see Gotham through his eyes, facing the weight of his responsibilities head on, really understanding the balancing act that he has to do constantly, especially when he's on patrol as Batman every night. I do wish those games allowed us to feel the duality a little more. I would love to have to deal with things as Bruce, have to make decisions for businesses or where to put my money, or when I'm going to make an appearance at like a gala or something like that. You know, I just feel like those things would have really added to the experience of becoming Batman, because then you'd get to see all of the interesting things that he has to decide on as Bruce, then still go on patrol every night as Batman. And I always thought it was kind of strange that those games never really tackled more Bruce activity, but hey, this isn't a game review, and the games didn't just make me feel like Batman, they helped me understand him better. The way he approaches problems, every decision, every encounter, it's methodical. He's always very empathetic and deeply human, even when he's trying to be more. Probably because he's trying to be more. It's not about brute force. It's about knowing when to hold 'em, know when to hold 'em, know when to walk away. No, wait, sorry. It's about knowing when to listen, when to act, and when to hold back. That's what sets Batman apart from many other heroes. He's not in this to punish people. He's in it to help them. Every villain he faces is a reflection of another area where Gotham and sometimes Batman himself is broken, and instead of turning his back on them, he tries to heal them. He sees the humanity in everyone, even when it's buried under layers of pain and anger or fear. And that's a lesson I've carried with me throughout my life, not judging people by their worst moments, seeing the person who's still there under that turmoil. Batman has always been more than a hero to me. He's a reminder that we can all do our part to make the world a little better, even if just by helping one person at a time. He's taught me resilience, compassion, the value of understanding others, and honestly, he's taught me a lot about myself. Batman is a character who walks in the shadows, but his mission is to bring light to others, and he's done that for me. This video is my way of saying thank you to a hero who's always been there for me, even in some ways I didn't understand until now. So if you've ever had a hero who's done the same kind of thing for you, whether it's Batman or another character, I hope this reminds you of the power of stories and how they can shape us. Because at the end of the day, we all are a little bit of Bruce Wayne and a little bit of Batman, and that is what makes us human.